Hi, and welcome to Marketing Optimization with Alex Designs. I'm your host, Alex Harris, and today we're chatting with Amy Porterfield. How you doing, Amy?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. We're talking all about how you can really maximize your return on Facebook using Facebook ads, because so much has changed and it really changes every day, and really no one's really sure where to spend their money in the right way and get really the best return. To start, I like to ask, what is your number one tip to optimize Facebook ads?
My number one tip is really targeting. When you figure out where your audience is spending time on Facebook and you literally target other Facebook pages that have the fans that you want to attract or have an audience that you know would be aligned with whatever it is you're promoting, that is truly the number one optimization tip for Facebook ads.
So in order to figure out where to target, do you use social graph search, to figure out the right places to target so you can really maximize your return?
I do. Graph search is such a new concept on Facebook. A lot of people aren't using it yet. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's that big box across the top. The majority of people have the feature now. Some people might not have it, but it's a really long box across the top. If you have a shorter box, it probably means you don't have it yet. But here's the deal. With graph search, what you can do is you can actually type in certain search terms and find a wealth of information. So for example, I would type in pages liked by people who like, and then the name of my Facebook page. So pages liked by people who like Amy Porterfield. And it will show me a big list of other pages my fans are frequenting. And with that, I can get a good idea of what other pages might be aligned with my ideal audience. And then I can target those Facebook pages with my ad targeting. You can even target, favorite interests of people who like the name of your page. So now you can find out what are their top interests as well. I did this and found that a lot of my audience is interested in meditation. Who would have known? I had no idea. So it's really good intel to find out where your audience is spending time and truly what interests them.
Absolutely. That's actually a great suggestion. And I'll link to a great article that you referenced on Michael Stelzner's podcast related to graph search marketing. So there's details all about how you can use graph search properly, interest liked, pages liked, and it can be confusing. But once you see this article, it breaks it all down very, very easily.
Yeah.
So let's talk about really building your audience using those Facebook ads. What are your best suggestions on and the right approach of getting more likes versus building your list?
Great question. So here's the deal. The number one question I get asked all the time is, how do I get more fans, which is how do I get more likes on Facebook? And although this is an important question, it definitely is not the most important question you want to be asking. But let's just take the likes, for instance. When it comes to Facebook advertising, it is a really great vehicle to attract like-minded people or your ideal audience on Facebook. So I do think it's important to have a solid Facebook fan base. And to me, it's like you want to get to at least 1,000 fans, and then studies have shown it starts to grow more organically for you. So if you want to use Facebook ads to get more likes, at the time of this recording, you can use sponsored like ads. There is talk that sponsored ads are going away, but we're not exactly sure what these like ads might look once that happens in April. So for now, using Facebook sponsored like ads is a really great idea. You might even want to just do $10 a day. But here's how it works. You actually run an ad where it will be shown to either your friends of your fans, or you can go beyond that. Let me take that back, not to get too advanced. It will be shown to friends of your fans, and your timeline cover photo will show in the newsfeed. And it will say something like, James likes Amy Porterfield's Facebook page, and it will show my page, and it will be shown to you. And if you're friends with James, you'll see it. And in your mind, you might think, okay, if James likes that page, maybe I will too. So sponsored like ads, I use them all the time. It's a great way to slowly build up your Facebook page without spending a lot of money. But here's the deal. Really what's important is the list building with Facebook ads. To me, that is where the majority of your marketing dollars should be spent if you're going to be spending money on Facebook ads. Facebook is the number one way that I've grown my email list from less than 1,000 to well over 70,000. Truly, Facebook ads has been the way I've done it. And the reason it's so valuable is, again, you can target your ideal audience. I could target other Facebook pages that have the audience that I want to attract. And really what it comes down to is you can run ads where you're giving away, let's say, a free webinar or an ebook or a free video series. So your ad is driving traffic to something of free value instead of just directly selling. Once they opt in, you can then build your email list and eventually promote. But to me, list building and Facebook ads go hand in hand.
Now, there's a lot of confusion between each of the type of ads. You mentioned sponsored ads for sponsored stories for likes, and what's the difference between that, the newsfeed ads, and the right column ads?
Great question. It gets a little bit confusing, so I'm glad we're going to go over this. So a sponsored story ad can actually go in the newsfeed or the right-hand column ad. And basically, the whole goal with a sponsored story is that it's going to be shown to the friends of your fans. So it actually has that little information about who has already liked your page or liked your post, and it's shown to the friends. So that can go either in the newsfeed or the right-hand column ad. But where I spend most of my time on my ads is that newsfeed. Studies have shown that most people, like over 90% of people, are spending their time on Facebook in that newsfeed. So if you get your ad in the newsfeed versus the right-hand column, we've seen major different conversion rates, meaning 0.04% click-through rate on a side column ad versus 3, 4, 5% click-through rate in a newsfeed ad. It takes up more room. It actually looks like a Facebook post. It's not that we want to deceive people, but we definitely want to meet them where they're at. So if it looks like a Facebook post, it engages with them. There's the like, the share, the comment button in the ad, and it's in the newsfeed, you're much more likely to get that click and then in turn either get that opt-in or that sale or whatever you're doing with the ad. So I highly recommend you place your ad in the newsfeed. And you can do this when you're setting up your ad. They'll ask, do you want it in the newsfeed or the right-hand column or both? Me personally, I always choose the newsfeed.
Now, when you start to set up your ads, are you starting from the Power Editor or are you posting and then clicking on boost this post or something like that? Can you explain that?
Yes. So on your Facebook page, everybody usually now has the option to boost a post, meaning you post on your Facebook page and then you'll see a little button at the bottom of that post on your page that says boost the post. What that will do is you can actually choose how much you want to boost it for, and it will be shown to more of your fans and more friends of fans as well. So it will get out into the newsfeed, which is really valuable, and it will be shown to more of your fans because we've all heard Facebook organic reach is down. So if you want to show your post to more people, more of your actual fans, you want to boost it. But here's the deal. I tend not to teach boosted posts anymore because I feel like the targeting, which we started this conversation with, the targeting is really limited. So this is what I suggest to anybody. Let's say you're just starting out with Facebook ads. I suggest you create a page post ad. Now, a page post ad is when you post on your Facebook page, but instead of boosting that post, you go into, let's say, the Power Editor. You can actually do this in the traditional ads dashboard as well. We'll talk about the difference in a moment. But you go into your ads dashboard and you choose that post to promote. Now, here's the difference. Instead of just promoting it to fans and friends of fans, you can promote that to non-fans as well. So you get beyond just the fans and friends of fans, and you can, let's say, target a bunch of people that are a fan of a certain page that might not yet be connected to your page in any way via fan or friend of fan. So I like the greater reach with page post ads versus just boosting the post from your actual page. Now, you can also control the ad spend a little bit more and, again, much deeper targeting. Now, let's talk a little bit about the difference between a Power Editor and the Facebook Ads dashboard. I teach all my ads through the Power Editor. Now, the Power Editor is basically just a more robust, more features, more bells and whistles than the traditional ads dashboard. If you're just starting out, you'll get some good results with the traditional ads dashboard for sure. But when you're in your traditional ads dashboard, you'll see in the left-hand column something that says Power Editor. If you click there, it will send you into the Power Editor instantly, and you'll want to read up on how to use it. It's definitely not as user-friendly as a traditional ads dashboard, but you can duplicate ads much quicker. You have more flexibility between the news feed and the side right-hand column ads. You have more flexibility with how you're spending in your ad. So there's just a lot of features that I personally find much more useful in the Power Editor than I would in the traditional ads dashboard.
Yeah, and one thing to notice, the Power Editor is only available in Chrome, correct?
Oh, great. Yeah, great. Definitely.
Yeah, I know a lot of people get confused and they can't actually open it in their browser. Oh, I can't use this Power Editor. Yes, you actually have to download Chrome to actually use it. So, as you're building your list, a lot of people ask me, how do I really turn, my Facebook tribe or that list into actual customers? What would be your best recommendations to really focus on, people to actually turn that social media following into revenue?
Great question. So here's the deal. There's two ways to do this. The number one way, in my opinion, and through all the experiences, I've been running ads for years now, is to first go for the lead or go for the email subscriber. So turning a fan into an instant customer is a lot more difficult than turning a fan into a lead and then using email marketing over time to turn that new lead into a loyal customer. In many ways, that works the best because a lot of times people are brand new to your brand and they need to build affinity and a relationship up with you. And email marketing is a great way to do that when now you're emailing them and they're seeing you in their newsfeed. If you're meeting them everywhere where it matters, everywhere where they're spending time, your brand is going to be top of mind. So I personally love the idea of building a fan base and then setting up, let's say, a page post ad. I'll give you an example of mine. I run automated webinars all about Facebook marketing. They're free webinars. And at the end of the webinar, I promote a $97 program. So in the page post ad that gets out into the newsfeed, it will have, let's say, a picture of me and then maybe some text that says, free training, Facebook for marketing or Facebook for business. And then in the top of that post above the image, it might say something like, I'm hosting a brand new training all about Facebook marketing. Here's what you can learn. And I might do like 1, 2, 3 quick tips and actually have a link to the opt-in page. Now that opt-in page can live inside of Facebook on your Facebook page in a custom app, or it can live outside of Facebook. I actually send them outside of Facebook to an opt-in page there. And that way, they actually see all the information about my webinar. It's a real opt-in page with a lot of bullets and what you can expect when you sign up. And then they can sign up for a specific date and time. When you do an automated webinar, I tend to use Evergreen Business Systems, but Stealth Seminar is another great automated webinar tool. When you do that, when people come to your opt-in page, they can choose a date and time that works for them. Then they'll get a reminder email saying, hey, don't forget your webinar's today. They watch the webinar and they may or may not buy, but now I've started a relationship with them. So these ads are truly making me sales as well as building my email list to allow me to create a relationship with them over time. So to me, you can do this with an ebook, a free video series, an auto teleseminar, whatever you want to do. But to me, this is the best way to build your email list with true quality fans. Now, getting back to why it's important to grow a fan base, when you run ads to only your fan base, you're going to pay a lot less versus when you run run ads to non-fans. So I tend to pay 10, 20 cents per click when I'm running an ad to my existing fan base. When I run an ad to non-fans, I usually pay 40, 50 cents. A lot of people pay more than $1. I've perfected it. When you're starting out, you might even pay more than $1 per lead, which quite honestly isn't that bad depending on what you're selling on the back end. But I will say that if you grow a mighty fan base and run your ads to your fans only, you're going to save a lot of money. So there's a case for why you would want to build a fan base when you're running ads.
Well, yeah. I mean, I love doing the podcast because, taking it all in, I'm asking you these questions because these things I want to do for myself,
Right.
building my list, building my tribe and, helping other people in my community because it can be so confusing because people just want to, you're not getting the reach anymore. I mean, just Facebook's not allowing you to, everybody kind of saw it coming, but, unfortunately, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money, but doing it in the right way to get the best reach is what you teach, and that's why we brought you on.
It's so true. I was listening to a podcast last night, Social Media Examiner's podcast, as you mentioned, and Mari Smith and Jay Baer, two people I really respect, were talking about the fact that the reach is definitely down. And the thing that I like to teach is, yes, organic reach is down, meaning you post something and it's not going to be seen by as many fans as you would like. The average is like 15, 16% of your fans will actually see an organic post. But here's the way I look at it. Facebook is extremely powerful. Over 1 billion people are active on Facebook, and it definitely is where your audience is spending time. I bet out of 100% of my customers, 99.9% of them can find their audience on Facebook. So the way I see it is, the people that are going to worry or complain that the reach is down are those people that are not going to get results on Facebook. But the people that are going to get strategic and say, okay, I've got a small amount of ad dollars. You might be a solopreneur or a really small business, but you've got a small amount of dollars to spend toward marketing. I encourage you to experiment with Facebook ads. My business was built on Facebook ads. I'm a one-person show, a very small ad budget. I started from definitely zero like everybody else, and I've been able to grow this business that has been huge over the last few years because I've never complained that I had to pay on Facebook. Instead, I got really strategic and thought, all right, if all of them are going to complain about paying on Facebook, I'm going to find a way to spend a really small amount of ad dollars on Facebook ads and just kind of boost my engagement, boost my email list and all of that. So it's really, truly a mindset. You can either worry about it or you can do something about it, and you don't have to break the bank to do so.
Yeah, well, I think it's a mindset shift for sure in marketing in general, because people just think they're just going to, diarrhea to the mouth, push all kinds of stuff out there, and, push marketing just doesn't work. The more you can really engage with your audience, that's what Facebook's all about. The more you ask questions, engage with them, you're going to get the best return, and then use those same posts that you're asking questions about, use those in your advertising. Absolutely, for sure. Now, one of the type of posts that people don't really know about are called either dark or unpublished posts. Can you explain how those really work and the best strategy to use unpublished posts?
Yes, this is my most favorite type of post, so I'm glad we're talking about it. And I tend not to teach it until someone's a little bit more experienced with Facebook ads or really grasp the concept. So anyone listening that's just starting out, this might seem a little bit more advanced, but it's actually really easy. So here's the deal. You want to do this inside the Power Editor. And when you're inside the Power Editor, you will see that when you're setting up your ad, and you're really setting up a page post ad, you will see a link for something called an unpublished post. We also call them dark posts, but it will have a link that says unpublished post. If you click there, you can actually set up a page post ad, meaning an ad that looks like a status update, but you're actually not setting it up on your Facebook page and then coming over to the ads dashboard to actually run the ad. You're setting it up from scratch inside the Power Editor. So let me walk you through this because this is really, really good stuff. Unpublished post means that you get to add the actual text of the ad, you get to upload the image, you get to add a link where that ad is going to actually link to. But you know how under image on Facebook, it's a little title and a description usually? Well, you actually get to add the title and add the description. Every single piece of an unpublished post is your copy that you're creating from scratch. When you use a page post ad, that copy under the image gets pulled through wherever you're actually linking to. So if you're linking to a website, some of that content gets pulled in automatically. That does not happen with an unpublished post, so you can get really creative. Also, unpublished posts are the only Facebook ad where you click on an image in the ad and it goes directly to whatever you want it to link to. So now, if you were to click on an image inside of Facebook and it was either a page post ad or just, let's say, any status update in your newsfeed, click on an image and a light box will pop up. So if someone uploaded that image, a light box will pop up and then you'll see the big image and then the text to the right of it. Well, an unpublished post, that image is a clickable link. And that's really the most powerful part of an unpublished post. It never ever hits your Facebook page. It only gets in the newsfeed of those people you are targeting. So again, it's all custom made, extremely easy to create. And you actually have an image that's clickable, the headline's clickable, the description's clickable, everywhere to go. You can send your ad traffic anywhere you want to go with that link. I use unpublished posts for those auto webinars I talked about. So I'm sending them directly to my opt-in page. And that's why those ads work really, really well for me.
Wow, that is just remarkable advice. The fact that you click on that image and it goes directly to the page versus, the light box, I mean, that's, definitely should increase your conversions just from that alone.
Oh, for sure. It's a really cool thing to do. It doesn't cost more. It's just a smarter way to go.
Perfect. 2 more questions. With so many people, with the audience being so big in mobile for Facebook, is there really a way to leverage that or position your ads in the right way to use mobile to its advantage since so many people are using it on their phone or tablets?
Yes. So because over 70% of Facebook users are logging onto Facebook via a mobile device, it's really important that you are mindful of that, especially with your Facebook ads. So here's a few things you want to know. The reason I'm so obsessed, I guess I could say, with these newsfeed ads is that right-hand column ads, like if you're looking at from your desktop at Facebook, those right-hand column ads are not showing up on your mobile device. So if you jump on Facebook from your mobile device, you'll notice you're not seeing any right-hand column ads at all. So if you want the majority of Facebook users to actually see your ads, you've got to get it in the newsfeed. Mobile users will never see those right-hand column ads. So that's a huge piece of the puzzle right there in terms of converting more with your ads. Also really important to remember is a lot of people like to use Facebook custom apps. So if you're on your Facebook page, you've got the big timeline cover across the top, but underneath those little boxes, you can create your own custom app. And in there, you can put, let's say, an opt-in page for people to opt into your ebook or webinar. The reason I do not use those for opt-ins on a regular basis, or at least for my ads, is mobile users cannot see the content on a custom app. So if they were to click your ad, they'll go to your Facebook page, but they'll never go deeper into your custom app to see the opt-in page. So you never ever want to run a Facebook ad to a mobile audience and link to a custom app. Now here's the deal. When you're inside the Power Editor, you can choose if you want your ad to be seen by only people on desktop or only people on mobile or both. So you actually get to choose. So if you are running your ad to a custom app, just don't choose your mobile audience. I've noticed that mobile ads are a little bit more expensive than desktop ads. When someone clicks from a mobile device, I'm paying a little bit more for that click versus desktop. The reason it's okay with me is I know a lot of people are accessing Facebook via mobile. So I encourage you, if you want to use a custom app on your Facebook page, let's say for lead generation, use a tool like leadpages.net. I am a huge fan of leadpages.net. But what they do is they allow you to create an opt-in page and then pull it into a custom app. But if someone clicks your ad, Lead Pages will know if they're clicking from a mobile device, they'll send them outside of Facebook. If they're clicking from their desktop, they'll send them to your custom app you created through Lead Pages. That is one of the coolest things. There's a lot of tools that have that workaround to help you with the mobile device when people click it. So just remember that, really important. Oh, one more thing. I know I'm so chatty this morning, but one more thing is that if you're doing any kind of Facebook post and you're linking to a custom ad, whether it's an ad or not, people are not going to see it on their mobile. I just want to make sure that's clear. It's not just an ad that they click and can't get to a custom app. They can't ever get to a custom app via mobile. So it's just something to think about.
Well, that's brilliant, because I build custom, apps or tabs all the time for my clients, and and they and you can bring them in from MailChimp or some of the other lead generation tools. But I did not know that Lead Pages specifically knows that it's on mobile, and it will send it to the individual page, because those tabs are served in iframes, so it makes sense that they're not showing up on mobile for sure.
Exactly. And with lead pages, I will say that when you set up a lead page, it's actually a lead page outside of Facebook. And you get to click a button to say, yeah, pull it into my Facebook page. It literally takes 2 minutes. But then they'll ask, do you want to redirect traffic? And I tell you this because it's a little confusing. There's a redirect option when you're setting up your lead page, and you're saying you do not want to redirect mobile. So all desktop will be redirected to your custom app. All mobile will not be redirected, meaning by default, it goes outside of Facebook. So you're going to look for that redirect option in order to make this work. But I promise you, it takes minutes.
Absolutely. That's really some great advice right there. Last question, then we'll close out. So you mentioned lead pages, and you're obviously using that for some of your landing pages and collecting your opt-ins for your webinars. What outside of Facebook in general, or in Facebook, what are some of the top tools that you're using? I noticed that you're using like ClickBank for your sign up for revenue. What are some of the tools that you maybe use for your membership site, and some other type of things that you do to create that whole strategy of the webinar to module courses? What are those tools that you use?
Yeah, great question. I love to talk about tools because a lot of people that are getting into online marketing or trying to build their business, it's so confusing when people don't tell you this is exactly what I'm using. So I'll give you a breakdown. So I definitely use leadpages.net for all my opt-in pages. And then I use Wishlist Member for my online program. So when you opt in, when you pay for a program of mine and you opt in, you're opting into Wishlist Member. The reason I use that is because it works seamlessly with WordPress. It's actually a WordPress plugin. It's extremely inexpensive and it's very easy to use. So that's my tool of choice in terms of creating membership sites or just online programs in general where I want an opt-in. I also, let's see, what other tools do I use? I use Infusionsoft, and so Infusionsoft is my CRM, so it becomes my email marketing service as well as my shopping cart. It's a little bit more expensive for sure, but some advice I got early on when I started about 5 years ago was to not use Infusionsoft till my business is bigger. I wish I didn't take that advice, actually. I wish I started with Infusionsoft right away because then I could have grown into it versus struggled with it when my list had already grown. So it's just a little piece of advice. If you want to go beyond Aweber or beyond MailChimp, Infusionsoft or Office Autopilot, Entreport they just changed their name, is a great service. So that's another tool I use. And then let me see, I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Evergreen Business Systems, which I mentioned earlier, is what I use for my auto webinar. I've used Stealth Seminar in the past. To me, they're both really, really good. So I use those tools as well to create my auto webinar. And then one more, I use Easy Video Suite. So Easy Video Suite is a tool I use where I upload my video to Easy Video Suite, and then it makes it instantly downloadable, and it gives me an embed code so that I can put that into Wishlist Member. So my videos play and they can be downloaded and all that good stuff. Vimeo is another great tool you can use for something like that, but I like Easy Video Suite because it actually has a download button that it adds to your video, and there's a lot of other features as well. So those are some of my tools of choice.
Yeah, I don't think Vimeo allows you to actually do the download portion of it, so that's actually a good point.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
And one other tool that I just want to mention that I heard you talk about was contest domination.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, so contest domination, it's a great tool for Facebook especially because a lot of people like to run contests but forget that the number one way to build your email list, or not number one way, a great way, I should say, to build your email list is with contests on Facebook. You run a great contest, but make sure people have to opt in to enter your contest. Contest domination allows you to do that. They help you build a custom app right there in Facebook, but then they have an extra feature where they'll give extra points to whoever enters your contest if they also share or tweet or comment on your contest, that viral exposure. So contest domination takes in that social aspect to get some viral visibility for your contest, as well as helps you build your email list. So yeah, that's a great tool as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's close by, I know you have 3 separate products, FB Influence, FB Ads Insider, and FB Profit Labs. Let's just briefly tell people about your products that you offer, how they can find out about your webinars, and how they can find out more about you in general.
Thanks so much for asking. So one of my big webinars that I do for free that kind of walks you through some of the great features of Facebook is at amyporterfield.com/FB webinar. So amyporterfield.com/FB webinar. And that will take you to one of my free webinars. And then I promote one of my programs at the end if you want to kind of dive in deeper with me. So that's definitely my signature program. And then like you mentioned, I have an ads program, fbadsinsider.com. And then twice a year, I offer FB Marketing Profit Lab, which is a more hands-on program that I have where I do it for 6 weeks. You actually get one-on-one consultation with me in terms of I have a small group where I jump in every day. And I walk you basically through how to build your email list and sell more with Facebook and how to put a Facebook marketing plan together. So that program is definitely more robust, and I offer it only twice a year because I'm really involved with it. So, but again, thanks for asking. I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for your time, Amy.
All right, you take care.